Welcome to Season 1 of Advisor Speed Demos from Financial Advisor TV. My name is Gwynneth Shipley, and on this demo, we're going to hear from Asset Map, a powerful financial planning tool for financial advisors. To learn more about Asset Map, visit asset-map.com. Don't forget to check out other speed demos in Season 1, featuring Y charts, Wealthbox, Snappy Kraken, GeoWealth, and YieldX. And now a word from our sponsors.
This show is sponsored by Capital Wealth Planning, providing covered call solutions for financial advisors. To learn more about their SMAs or ETF, visit capitalwealthplanning.com.
Hi, my name is Adam Holt, CEO and founder of Asset Map. I want to thank you for your hospitality at Financial Advisor TV, and I want to share with you what we've been building at Asset Map. I think you'll be very excited. We've actually created a brand new category in Asset Map, which is called advice engagement. And we're really reshaping the way that professional advisors communicate with their clients. Now, one of the things you probably have seen at this point is that we've gotten a lot of accolade in the industry in many different aspects, from financial wellness to financial planning, to specialty financial planning, as well as some other categories, because we're actually creating a new standard around what we call advice engagement. Now, what is advice engagement? Advice engagement is really well explained by something that you and I are very familiar with. This blue figure on your screen represents an average consumer that has likely accumulated some level of financial stuff from their employer. Maybe they purchased on their own. When they needed insurances, they bought it from their cousin. They may have had a house or a child. They do their banking online. So for the most part, with respect to their financial decisions, they've got it all pretty much figured out. But when you add the complexity of other people to your family as your household grows, one of the things that we find is that a lot of people get stuck. And so when they engage a financial professional, the first thing that we must all do is we must do good fact finding, KYC, gathering an understanding of what's going on in people's lives. We found that by visually creating an organization structure that is shared with the client, we found it much easier to engage and talk about what really matters. And of course, bring new ideas and apply our advisor intelligence in real time, which of course yielded more opportunity to serve our clients. The interesting thing is that our customers have been asking for this for years. And so really what Asset Map is doing is giving them also a deliverable that they can use to re-engage again and again and have their treasure map in front of them. So what Asset Map is really doing today is helping advisors really gather that information and then visualize it in a way that facilitates a more meaningful conversation. Now, one of the things that we've been really well known for is actually creating a data gathering environment that we can send out to one or thousands of potential customers or existing customers to gather the data that's needed for our typical financial planning or advice engagement. This is done on their own device in their own world where they're comfortable, whether it's mobile or tablet, or how they're intending to interact today. They can do this in 15 minutes and they can create an asset map. What is an asset map report? Well, the benchmark of our platform really revolves around this idea that we can visualize all of the stuff going on in people's households, from the people and entities that can own or control instruments. These are obviously living people and or business interests, trusts, anything you can think of that can own or control an instrument. It is a customer-centric approach, agnostic to gender or relationship. So it will work virtually in every environment with every modern family today or business relationship. We care about income sources and knowing where they are and what they are both today and in the future so that we can talk about them intelligently. What assets individually a person controls based upon its tax status, as well as where is it located, what's it worth. And of course, let's look at that for all the members of the household, where their incomes, assets, and their joint assets and liabilities. And lastly, their insurance policies protecting them that tend to get lost in the mix because they don't take the same preeminence on a balance sheet. What you're really looking at is a scalable mashup of a family tree, a balance sheet, a policy summary, and an income statement, all in a way so that a financial professional can help make good decisions with their clients and interact as to the intentionality of all the things that are missing as well as existing on someone's asset map. Now, it doesn't stop there. As we all know, we need to engage around lots of different contexts for families. Sometimes we need to look at just the kids and talk about the decisions that are pending for their education funding. Or perhaps there's business interests and there are individuals that have companies that they're making decisions around, and they're looking at ways to coordinate the personal and the business financial planning. And of course, there's always the estate planning aspect, aspect. How do I think about next generation planning, funding trusts? How does this work together? Should we move money from here to there? And so what advisors typically do is they use this as a way to organize the conversation around intentionality, around what's going on in their lives, and of course, delivering this. Some of the other really unique aspects of Asset Map is we have the ability to overlay what we call signals. These are indications based upon algorithms that indicate to us as professionals where there's some knockout concerns. In other words, if these events happened, this would be really detrimental to the household. We need to prioritize or look at them or explore them. We see these tend to run really high on the insurance sides as being ignored. But of course, you can imagine if a household has a disability event or long-term care or lives too long, how that can be cataclysmic to our planning traditionally. So we want to bring this up in real time at every meeting. These are your engine lights. There looks like there's low tire pressure. Let's check it out, make sure it's not a real issue. The other thing that's really unique about Asset Map is we have the ability to overlay with our stencil project what your peers are doing. So we can say, this is what you currently look like. This is what your peers are also doing. Who is a peer? A baby boomer, X generation, a lawyer, a doctor, a business owner, or anything else that you can think about that we can use to overlay, and you can custom create this in literally minutes and scale it out to your entire firm. This is really unlike anything else, because one of the challenges we've seen in the field is, this is great, you've shown me what my life has today, but what else should I be doing? And this is a way for advisors and professionals to help create communication and conversation without it feeling like a sales process. For those of us that grew up with the yellow pad or the whiteboard, we like to draw and communicate and explain how things work. So Asset Map, in addition to being a communication tool, is an education framework for those of us that try to help our clients and engage and empower them to make better decisions. Now, Asset Map does include several other components, which are our needs funding calculators, where we rethought financial planning. We can run retirement analysis, disability, long-term care, education funding, long-term care scenarios in 30 seconds. We have the ability to scale out mass engagement around projected funding towards goals very quickly. And this has become not necessarily a competitor, but a complement to financial planning, because Asset Map is being used as the financial X-ray in early engagements, the blood test to indicate whether there's some real problems. And then, of course, we can do some projections without going into the MRI that is our friends called financial planning. We do have integrations with a whole bunch of companies, which I'll share towards the end here. One of the takeaways I want you to recognize is that Asset Map is really all about creating simplicity from what we know to be technically important. There's a lot of reasons to give a client an 80-page report, but they're not going to read it. And so we need to find ways to create more context about what's going on in their lives. And very often the Asset Map report itself is the most valuable. Whether you're working today in a paper framework face-to-face and you need to draw to try to educate, or whether you have moved in the conference room to a large screen and you want to display this, we found that the interaction that you get in teaching and educating, we're standing in front of a screen, is really important to a customer who wants to be engaged. For most of us that have moved to remote environments, this process works natively in all 4 environments, which means you learn it once, you're done. You learn it, you could use it in any of these environments, regardless of how you're working with your clients today. And of course, what's important is that we have established lots of ways for you to build asset maps together, whether it's directly with the customer, using our interview, or taking many of our integration partners and taking data from them or pushing to them in many cases. So this should work where your business already is driven. At the end of the day, what has this meant for advisors? We are a sales enablement experience that really is geared around financial engagement. And the key to this is that advisors are now sharing with us significant lifts to overall production on the asset gathering as well as on the insurance placement side, because we're just getting to meaningful conversations faster and adoption is through the roof. It's easier to use this than our typical tools that compete for our time and attention. So with that, I want to invite you to participate and see this for yourself. Get your schedule a personal demo at assetmap.com, and we look forward to talking with you in the future.